So here we are once again. So as this channel slowly progresses, I'm going to try and show you guys different types of art and painting and little craft stuff that you can do just for the hell of it. I don't claim to be a professional painter. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just kind of do what I do that works for me. It's meditating, it's soothing, and it just gets rid of all your problems when you start painting and doing different things like this. So these are some watercolor pencils I just bought. These are supposedly one of the best brands. I really don't know different brands, but I searched online and on Amazon. They had really good reviews. So these ones say watercolor pencils on them. Watercolor pencils. These ones I've had for a long time. These are Derwent Inktense. So these are ink pencils. I don't know. So these are the watercolors that I did here. And these are the ink ones. So I don't know if these ink pencils are watercolors, and tell you the truth, I really don't care. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do in this video, will basically mostly be a time lapse. I'm going to do like, this is kind of like, I guess you could say Japanese traditional, old school stuff. Like the lines, you could make these into mountains and clouds and all different sorts of things. But all this one's going to be is just nice, nice smooth lines, okay? Coming up and down. Because doing this, I've used lots of charcoals with the blending stick, smudging it out to get the shading effects. Doing this, you don't want to have any sharp lines. So, say with the pencils I color on here, I'll show you guys what I do. I'm coloring on here, and then my line stops right there. You want to get the water and blend all those lines out. So it wants to be darker here and lighter here. We want to try and keep a white line on here. Okay, so pretty well when you watercolor on here, I don't have that gouache, whatever it's called, gouache stuff, that white stuff. Whenever you watercolor, you want to try and keep the white, I guess. I don't know, so they say, but I really don't care. If I have to paint it white, I'll paint it white. I just think for this style stuff, the white, natural white paper looks better. It just gives you another effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this fresh piece of paper. I think this is like, what, 9 by 12? It's watercolor paper, cold pressed. It's 140 pound. I've been learning about this watercolor stuff from my friend Ben. He's in America. His YouTube channel is Watercolor Studing on the Lake. So he's going to be doing lots of tutorials for watercolor paintings. So he's been teaching me lots of stuff. So I got this. Okay, I got a board. I got this tape. This is just dollar store painter's tape. You put this on your pants or your t-shirt. So like example, let me stick my belly here. You put it on your t-shirt and you rub it on your t-shirt, and then it won't be so sticky. When I glue this to the board, when I'm done painting, when I tape this to the board when I'm done painting, I can pull this tape off and it won't be as sticky to rip this painting that I'm working, the paper that I'm working on here. So once again, it's 140 pound watercolor paper, cold press. So I think how it goes, if this was 100 pound, it would be thinner, right? So 140 is thicker. If it was 200, it would be thicker. And cold press, simple, long story short, from my research, is a little bit more rougher to grip the paint, and like there's little teeth in it. And hot press is smoother paper. Abracadabra, just like that. They say that you should tape this paper down because when you're painting with water, putting water on the paper, it will warp, so it won't warp as much once you got this down here. These are just things I've heard, things I'm learning. I don't know. If you want to watch this video, watch it. Yep, carry on. So I've decided that I want to use these Inktense, Derwent 24 Inktense pens. There's 24 in here because I got experience using these ones. So the only color I'm going to be using is black. So I think this would be called ink black. You guys can't see it, but yeah, it's called ink black on here. So I got a pencil sharpener. You know, I do have an eraser here. This is a pencil eraser. I got at Opus Art. I'll explain the eraser. You really can't use it for nothing because once you got your color on this board here, well, it's almost impossible to get off. You got to figure out a way around it. So I'll get this pencil sharpened up, and then we'll start drawing. Okay, so I'll have a seat here. So I had a good friend of mine see one of my old paintings that I did, and he requested that I make one for him. So he'll buy it. He said he'll buy it, but I'm not going to charge him. It was just these lines coming down here like this, okay? So the shading will be this way, and then there was a line coming down here, so it's like coming this way, then there's a thing coming down here. It's hard to explain, so try and keep your paper clean. So what we'll do, sometimes I put faces in these lines, but it's been a long time since I've worked with this stuff, so I don't think I'll be able to do that. But maybe we'll put a nice thick line here. See, let's just kind of, we'll make it like there's a kind of a nose there and a mouth, just a little bit, just to give it, just chin there, just to give it some extra texture, right? So then, how thick do you want your lines? You know, basically everybody, when you get these lines on, that's it. You know, like some might, this is just my opinion for everything too. So we'll put another nose here. Okay. And so we got to figure out which way we're going to be doing the shading for this. I think it will be this way. All right, so let's do his nose backwards. And the chin, and boom. Some of you guys might be wondering why my finger's sticking out and I'm dragging it. Well, because it's broken and I can't bend it, so I apologize for that. So let's put the line coming down here. Just something real simple. Okay, so it's going to be thinner here and it's going to get wider at the bottom, so it looks like it's kind of coming at you down at the bottom of the picture. Well, it could be wider than that, so we still got this line in here. We're safe with that, but let's put another one in. There we go. Okay, so now we'll do some more of these. They don't all have to have faces. When you put the faces in there, it's just kind of, you're creating more problems for yourself, really. And they're just a silhouette. It doesn't even have to be a face, right? So, okay, got to put one more in here. So this line would carry on down here. It's a good habit to carry on your lines the way they are. All right, so there we go. So now we got to decide which way we want to do it. So all this is going to be swooping down here. Now we got to decide for these faces. Like I said, if you didn't do the faces in there, you wouldn't know, right? You wouldn't have as much problems. You just put your shading in, you feather it out, and then you're good to go. But now for the faces, so this one here, most of them are faced this way, like nose this way, this way, this way, this way. Only one's opposite. I think, so it's always good to have your practice piece around. Let's see here, which way was the face that we did? Well, I don't know. Right here. So here's a face, right? With his mouth open. It's facing that way. So we don't want the shading to be the tip of his nose. So we want it to be dark on this side of the face. So the shading's going to go this way on this whole piece. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep these lines as clean as I can on this side, and the shading will go this way with a paintbrush and water, right? So I put lots of ink in here. Yeah, this takes a lot of ink from your pencils, but who cares? If you're having fun, spend the money, get yourself some good pencils, and just do what you want to do. What am I doing here? Okay, so I've made up my mind I was going the right way the first time. So let's just keep on doing that. Depends how good of the pencils you get. You can get some cheap ones or some expensive ones. So I don't really know. I think this is enough to make that ink travel over to the other side. You know, if you're looking at it this way, this would almost be like you're doing mountains, right? So it doesn't matter if you cross this line. So like I said, our shading is going to go this way. It doesn't matter if you cross this line too much, but I suggest not to, because the more that you, like say if you get your pencil and go like this, scribble over here, because the more you do that, then you're going to have to redraw this line on. And so how about I get these all done, and I'll be back. I'll get all these done, and then we'll talk about this. Okay, so you see I got some thicker lines on here. So what I'm going to do is spin it this way. So when I get my paintbrush, I can push it out. You got all sorts of different paintbrushes. I'm not too sure. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this. So it's been like probably like, I'd say a good 3 years. I got this brush here. It's pretty soft. Comes from the dollar store. If this doesn't work, I got these are watercolor brushes. See how they're more pointy? I'll try these ones. So, like I said, each one of these, I don't want to go on that side of the line. I want to push it all out this way. So let me see if that's the right way. I think I'm going to, it's nice to have, this is just flat surface. There's no like tilt for like an art easel or nothing like that. So I never really painted on an art easel. I've always just had my art table in my other room kind of has a little tiny pitch just like that. Basically, it's my coffee table, art table. So I got some paper towel here too. I got my water set up right here. I got paper towel. When I do this style, I know with watercolor, you put your friggin' paintbrush in the paint, mix it up, then go like this and this. But I just kind of put this in my hand if I need to use it really fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the. I didn't color all these in because I'm going to be putting my hand here, like my palm, and I don't want to smudge it, right? So I'm going to be going like this. Oh, we already got some water on there, and just push it out. So you want to make it so it seems like it's all connected. So see, I got too much water on there. I'll just go like this. You just keep on pushing it out. I think for this style of stuff, I think charcoal would be a little bit easier because it's easier to blend the lines. But you see here, watch this. I see, like right here on this line, right there, I'd call that a hard line. So you don't want it to be hard. You want it to make it soft and come out because that gives it the round. It gives it like a round kind of effect. Once it's done, you can look at this picture and you can see it different kind of ways. Different things pop out at you. And you want to make sure you get it all too. So see how I just went over that and I just pushed it out again, blend it all in. It takes a while, but you know, like if you put some music on, like I'm going to do here in a few seconds, and just relax and enjoy what you're doing. It's a good form of meditation or healing or whatever you got problems in your life. Just go to the art store and get yourself some of these pencils or pens. I know not everybody has the money to jump out and go buy whatever they want, but I don't know. If I want something, I always figure out a way to get the money to get it. So, you know, you can't take the money with you when you die. I know lots of you, I have a son, he's 22. I'd like to be able to leave something for him, but you know, he's going to have lots of my artwork kicking around here, so he can have that. So see that? I know this is wet. This is basically dry now. I just kind of blend that in. That's really it. You know, so when these lines here, if they're not that hard, I like this edge to be a nice crisp line. If am I on camera here? If they're not that hard, like if they're not crisp, you just sharpen your pencil really good and you just go over it really hard. It'll give a nice crisp line. Let's do one more here. Like I said, try and make sure you can go like this, get it all wet. And just slowly, like I said, we want to keep a little tiny white line there. So let's just do this so we're safe right now. Now we can go down and blend this into that. It's simple, you know, like I can't draw nothing at all. Like maybe I could draw a Buddha face, but I always struggle with the lips. So see how that didn't blend in good there? So I'm going to get a bit wet. I'm just going to touch it. I'm going to push it out more. Try and blend it together. See how it's slowly blending that there? Now you got to work on blending all this. You got to remember too, some of it's dry, some of it's wet. So I'll look there. You see that little tiny spot there? I'll go back and I'll try and blend it in. Like I said, I think I'm pretty sure that oh boy, charcoal's the better stuff for this. But it's just about having fun and trying new things and exploring. You know, like I say, art's basically just an experiment. Also, another thing too, it's good to get your pencil, have that spare piece of paper around, right? And put some extra black on there. Right? So we got some extra black on there. So see here, watch this. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. I'm just showing you the kind of stuff I know. So see here, it's way darker than bright. Oh boy, it's dark than bright. I can't really, I've used all the black. You just go over to that extra ink that you put on there and you can use that. It's just about being consistent, I think, for this stuff. So then we'll push it back some more too. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier for with the charcoals, for sure. But that's okay. I'm having fun. Just blend it all back. I just push it out. I'm sure some pros are watching this and like, that's not how you do it. Well, guess what? Yeah, it is. It's how I do it. Now go away. Okay, we need some more water. And we'll just get this stuff. And we'll push it all out. We don't want it to be too dark. So see how I've kept that nice white line there? But I've crossed it in some spaces. Well, this mark here, there's a mark there. That's just the paper itself. Okay, let's get this wet. Okay, so I'll get this all done, and then we'll talk about doing here. I do here first because, say for example, if I do here first, inside here first, this is going to be text of shading and stuff like that. If I do in here first, then when I'm doing here, and if I cross that line, like say I'm doing this working on this, trying to get the ink nice to light, at least I can cross that line a bit so it looks like it's continuous. Then when I go to do this one, I could do dark line right here, shade it out, and I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense to you, but carry on, have a good time to listen to freaking music. Okay, so I think that was about 20 minutes for me there to do this. So it's definitely easier to do charcoal with this kind of stuff. It's been a while since I've done this. So you see like that line right there? I would call that a hard line. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a smaller paintbrush. And you see that? See right in there where it's not as dark? I'm going to redraw in there, make it a bit darker. And I'm going to get rid of all the hard lines by using a smaller paintbrush, getting it a little bit wet, not really wet, just like almost like dry brush wet. That means it's pretty dry. And just get rid of all the hard lines that I see in the pieces. Like if I was using charcoal, I wouldn't have spots like this, or like, you know, you can see what's happening here. But charcoal would be a lot smoother to blend everything in. And I did realize when I was going that when I first started, if I had all my pencil lines drawn in there, and I had my brush pretty wet and soaked along there pretty good, then it was easy to distribute the ink throughout the piece. So let me just show you here, for example. So, like, where's the pen? The pencil crayon, whatever it's called. So we got that. It's a little bit light in there. So all I'm going to do is just put pen in there. So while I remember that, it's like that. I'm just going to, just a little bit, not much. You don't want to create more hard lines. See how that's coming back out there? So now I got to bleed this all in together again. I'm going to go all across my lines. Make sure that it's a nice crisp line. Some areas I crossed over the line, that's okay. Like, but you guys, can you guys understand what I'm talking about? Maybe, maybe not. See, I'm just kind of blending it out. What I'm doing is I'm bringing the ink out. See right here? You can kind of see a line here. I'll try and zoom in. All I'm going to do is like this, and I'm pulling the ink out. And fade it out. Okay, see that hard? I'd call this right here a hard line. Just the ink I can see, like, I'm gonna try and super zoom in so you can see right here. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna lift this piece up. Right here, I didn't get the ink with the wetness when I did it because I was kind of rushing. So what I'm going to do now is, again, just barely wet my brush. Just do a nice crisp line along there and blend that out. That's gone now. Now it's nice and tight, right? Go along the whole edge. Make it nice and smooth. I should have a different brush, which I'm going to do. So now I brought out a sharp edge. So now I got to blend that out. See how this stuff really moves? Pull it out. And blend everything together. Some people might disagree with the way I'm doing it, but again, I'll say I really don't care what you think. It's the way I do it. Okay? So I'll get this caught up. Like this part right here. See, that's a man's face going this way. That little lip part there, it just looks silly to me, right? It doesn't make the piece flow good. So here's my pencil. So all I can do for that is just kind of go like this. Just give him a little bit of a chin. I know his chin's a lot lower there. And get your pen, get your paintbrush. Get it pretty dry and just go along and just touch it up. Get nice sharp lines in there. Okay, so make your paintbrush even drier. Pull it out and blend her in. So yeah, this stuff is time consuming, but it's relaxing. It relaxes me anyways. Okay. So another thing I said too, this is when you want to get your, oh man, maybe my microphone was up my nose. Sorry about that if it was, I just pulled it away. This is when you get your pencil, your sharpener. This is just a dollar store sharpener. So you can see, I'll show you right here in that line where it's kind of lighter in there. I want this whole edge to be nice and dark. So let's just concentrate on this little area where it's lighter. I'm going to put pressure and I'm going to use the sharpest point of the pencil. Make sure you don't, these aren't cheap, so you make sure you don't want to break it, right? But there, I'm just going over the edge, giving a nice crisp line. Do some fill in for the later areas. Okay. Now you barely get your paint wet again. Paintbrush wet. You don't even need to do this. I'm doing it just to show you guys. Pull that paint out. Blend it in. See this sharp line right in here? I'll zoom in. It's just, I couldn't get rid of it. So I'm going to get all these edges nice and crisp. And then we'll talk about this part. And this is the same as watercolor paints. When it's wet, it's darker. When it dries up, it lightens up, right? So you can look at this one way. So it's just like a deep canyon there, so it gets darker, right? My paintbrush is barely wet. It's gone dry, so we'll get it wet again. It's nice. So I see this right here. Here, I'll pull up the thing. Okay, see right there? See how it's just got a little bit of lighter on the outside, so I'm gonna get my pencil crayon. Make a nice crisp line in there. Alright, so how about I do this off screen? Then we'll fill in this area. This is gonna be a long video. You gotta think, this is my art, this is kind of my style, so I think of this as just like this stuff's flowing this way. So if you look at this when it's on your wall or something, you'll see it. These things will do this sometimes. They'll concave in, or sometimes they'll round out. So they'll do a whole bunch of different things. I guess it would be abstract. So this would be like a big river coming down here, right? Of black charcoal stuff. This line here, I'll show you guys about that eraser. This thing recording, yeah, this eraser here. See how it doesn't really get rid of the marks? It's permanent. Okay? This is a good eraser too. So, but we can blend that in. So now you see, now I can put a nice thick line here, and it will cover these pieces that come down here. So when you do that, you can make these look like they're flowing, not just stopping right here with like lighter colors or darker colors around the edge. It looks weird. You want them to look like they're carrying on straight through. Okay, so where's my pencil crayon? It's in my hand. So let's just go like this. We don't want it to be too dark, but we want to, I was careful on this edge not to do it too much, but we just want to kind of blend these things away. This is when it gets more fun. Okay? So we can do spots anywhere we want to do. So this is darker here. Okay, and then we'll go like this. We'll make it dark from the tip, so it looks like it's farther away. Tape's kind of tricky for this stuff. And we'll do the same on this edge too. I know I'm getting carried away here. Okay, let's put some big ones down here. Oh boy. I don't know if I was filming when I did this, but I did it. And I don't know if my camera stopped when I was filming or what was happening. You can put some extra lines in here for some extra texture. Okay, it's like a piece of abstract. So what I do now is I'll make my pencil, I'll wait till this is really dry. This is where you can pull out some white if you want, because I was kind of rushing and I didn't leave any white in there. So I'll sharpen my pencil really good, not over top my art piece, but let's move that over here. Okay, so never mind my pencil crayon. Since this is watercolor paint, right? So I don't know if you now this piece is called mixed media. I really don't care. So you look for inconsistent spots or pieces like this in here, and you just kind of so then where's my water bottle? Sorry everybody, I know this is dragging on. Okay, then down here, bring it up. More paint. Always more paint, more paint. Okay, now we'll get a bigger brush. Blend it in. I'm not going to bother doing any weight. I'm pretty well done with this piece. So since we got our little brush here, don't forget to sign your pieces. Where's a good place to sign it? Right here. That's a little bit thick, but that's okay. Sorry, I hope I was filming when I did this part, but all you do is you get your pencil crayon or your crayon thing and scribble it on, do a nice dark edge here, bleed it out, and you put on some spots here, some spots here, some spots here, you know, like a deep spot here, and then you just blend it all in together. I'll show you more with the charcoal. So now let's let this dry for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'll pull this off and we'll see what we got. Okay, so there it is. You can see that guy's a yelling face, that guy's a yelling face, this one's face that way. I don't know what kind of face it is. That one's kind of this way. There's his nose, his bottom lip. This one didn't even turn out to be a face, but it's something. So now let's pull off this tape very easily. You don't want to rip this board. So there you go, everybody. It's been a super long time since I've done something like this, but it just goes to show you how much fun you can have with these kind of pencils. You know, you don't have to be a crazy, you don't have to draw things crazy, you don't have to be a crazy artist. You can do anything you want with these, you know. Like if you look at it this way, it could be like Japanese wind going this way. You could make mountains, you could do anything you want. Let's see what it looks like this way. Yeah, so there's some mountains, you know. Just have fun, just simple stuff to do. And somebody I know says this stuff's not that simple, but I don't know. I'm not the best artist, so I call it simple. Just something like this, you have to take your time and get those nice, crisp, sharp lines and stuff too, right? So have fun, get yourself some pencils, try it out. Next video we'll be doing the same thing, different theme with charcoal pencils and a smudger. Thank you.